10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another day of the defense. We're getting into our first series of the night, which is going to be Team Alternate Attacks versus New Team. And seeing as we had a slight technical error right before the show started, we're going to jump right into the game. And the draft is underway. Real quickly, just so you guys are I just want to update everyone because I also needed to update myself before this series where the defense is at right now for Phase 1, Group 1. Team Alternate are currently sitting at a decent score of 2-2, while New Team had one of their games delayed, so they're sitting at a score of 2-1. Right now, it seems to be a pretty competitive pool. With those top 3 slots being what is needed to move on to phase number 2. So now that we have a little bit of draft to work with, Earthshaker, first pick, Tusk, is going to be the response for Team Alternate Attacks, and still trying to figure out what that other pick is going to be.
So you've taken both of the offlaners out of the pool. Earthshaker can still be run as a support, but I think we were talking to like Demon and Sing Sing at the Red Bull event, and they said the only 4 viable offlaners in their opinion are Tusk, Earthshaker, what was the other one? Tusk, Earthshaker, Darkseer, and I can't remember what the 4th one was.
Clockwork. Yeah.
So it's pretty important nowadays to take one of the offlaners pretty early on. The support pool is kind of the same in the fact that it's a little bit limited. The carry pool can be similar too, but it's all right.
So Dazzle immediately picked up by Team Alternate. I like this choice. I feel like Dazzle, I was just talking to Scansor, Statman, co-cast with Darko a lot. He co-casted with me the other day. Pretty good co-caster.
You got a shout-out thread.
Yeah, he's a good co-caster.
Do we hire him? Me and Toby were saying we have open applications right now.
We do have open applications. Yeah.
Just email Toby, guys. He would love.
Yes. Just spam Toby on Twitter, Facebook, whatever social media you can find Toby one at, and it'll really show your dedication to the job if you just spam him as much as possible.
That's actually how I got the job.
You're
originally.
Right.
I just begged Toby.
I mean, we definitely didn't hire you for your actual performance. That's for sure.
Of course. All right. So Shadow Fiend, Radiant Side. I almost feel like I'm just rehashing opinions sometimes when we do the draft because I've said it so many times, but SF on the Radiant side is just one of the more stable ones. It allows you to both... SF's like a hero that vacillates between being both strong early game and late game, just because a lot of his skill set allows him to go to the late game. Like Requiem of Souls always does a ton of damage. The raises are always not bad. Same for his presence at the Dark Lord.
Yeah.
And because he's a range mid that flash farms, he's pretty unique in that he should be able to get ahead relatively quickly. Because he can just dual raise mid, and then by the time he gets to the jungle camp, he'll have to just double raise up again. Then you triple raise farm a jungle stack, and all of a sudden you're getting like 10 last hits a minute. Nobody can keep up with that.
And it's tough to be able to make the invasion or to stop the SF from clearing through his stacks. We've seen teams try it before. Sometimes it works out, but oftentimes you're just in such a dangerous position to begin with that it oftentimes just ends up kind of getting you caught. Clockwork is going to be the pickup now for Team Alternate Attacks. I was going to say the Tusk could be a 4 position, and that's sure enough what going to be. Clockwork Willens to be the choice. I like them returning for a different offlaner because first of all, it's Dire Side. Clockwork really valuable on Dire Side, but he's also facing up against an Earthshaker and a Shadow Fiend, who I feel are very easy targets for the Clockwork. If he's able to get first of all, Clockwork naturally counters the Earthshaker, just because you have such long animations. You can only get off Echo Slam if you're being hit by Battery Assault. So that's instantly, boom, counter out the Earthshaker. And then you've got the SF, who can't really control a lot of his AoE damage. So until he has that BKB, he's really easily threatened by the Blade Mail.
Where's the Gyrocopter?
That's a good question.
Eggman is still not picked.
I would guess Team Alternate Attacks would take it here. I'm not sure why they wouldn't.
I think you would prefer it on the Clockwork's team in general. Like Clockwork hook into Cogs is a pretty good setup, and you don't really want to play it against it as a clockwork, in my opinion.
10 seconds.
In the laning phase, especially, it's one of the more rough ones because he can just chase you down.
Yeah.
5 seconds.
I guess in the later phases of the game, when you're a clockwork that has a lot of farm, you do okay against it just because you'll get a 4-staff, you trap him in the cogs, 4-staff out, waste a lot of his attacks, but it's not ideal. Like, I'm pretty surprised, like, neither team has a carry yet, and yet gyrocopter's still open. Wonder what that means for new team. They have Disruptor or Shaker Shadow Fiend. It would fit their lineup pretty well too. I guess they just think they'll be a little bit too farm heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, generally speaking, it's really nice to run Gyrocopter with any sort of AoE control, with both teams do have.
Radiant team pick.
I kind of prefer it on Team Alternate just because they have those saving mechanisms from their two supports, the Snowball as well as the Shallow Grave. And then Weave also has really good synergy, I think. When you do an aggressive Weave and you have Flat Cannon out, you know, that just has so much natural synergy to it that I would love to see it for ATN, but still not going for it. I'm not sure. Maybe both teams just agreed no Gyrocopter to begin with, but we'll see if New Team takes it now. Wind Ranger was the choice by ATN, still keeping themselves pretty open. I feel like the Wind Ranger, if you're going to pick up... if you still want to pick up a mid, but leave your draft pretty open, I feel like Wind Ranger still makes that. Because Wind Ranger can be pretty powerful in the early game, but also can be pretty farm heavy sometimes. Like, Wind Ranger is definitely not a bad hero going mid to late game, with that focus fire being so powerful with the Ags upgrade nowadays. So I really feel like that the Wind Ranger, you can still run this really aggressively if you want to and pick up an early aggro carry, or you can fall back with a little bit more slower paced farm game, and still the Wind Ranger will be really valuable.
It's just going to be rough laning her against an SF. Like, if she doesn't kill the SF within the first 4 or 5 levels, it becomes way too difficult for her to be able to deal with. Because then she does fall behind when it comes to farm. Like, you're gonna just power shot waves to clear, whereas the SF can just rely on non-stop raising. And I don't find that to be as good of a 1-for-1 trade. Ancient Apparition picked, like, both teams are leaving their carry to like the last possible pick, which is kind of a little bit odd for me. But I'm trying to think right now.
Ancient Apparition is still a really weird one. I mean, it counters a healer like Dazzle, and that's nice, but we haven't seen a whole lot of Ancient Apparition.
Maybe they just pick like Spec or something, do something weird.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what carries synergize with the AA. You could do some like really weird Nature's Prophet. You remember when Fear played it for EG? It was a carry a few times at MLG.
Radiant team ban.
Wraith King banned out by ATN. One more. Okay, that actually has a lot of synergy with the Ancient Apparition. He's a pretty aggressive carry. His stun that also slows works quite well with Cold Feet.
10 seconds remaining.
And then you would be able to create a lot of space for the Shadow
Razor or
Fiend.
Viper.
Finally, Gyrocopter gets banned away for
Somebody
New
had to
Team.
ban it. I would like it on either team. Razor or Viper kind of works for both lineups. You want to be really aggressive, you can take it for Team Alternate. You probably need something though that can keep up. So Razor, I think, works better for ATN. They've got the clock to initiate cogs in. You static link. Luna isn't terrible here.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay.
Oh,
Radiant
well,
team pick.
we now have a very obvious Roshan advantage for Team Alternate attacks. They already had the Wind Ranger, the Tusk, who usually will try to pick up an early medallion if possible, and then the obvious one now being the Slardar with that amplify damage.
I would really like to see just like the one Slark game in 2015 that we're gonna watch. I guess Razor for
10
me,
seconds remaining.
or Viper still. Razor is a little bit
5
stronger
seconds
of a
remaining.
candidate, I think. You can go for, was it, I can't remember what player it was. It was on eHome. Do
Time.
you remember that guy that kept playing Razor every game?
Yeah.
Remember, like, his build was you'd go mech, SNY into
Shivas.
Shivas, yeah.
Yeah, that was the choice. Ember Spirit.
I thought, actually, but then I saw the Slardar and I was just like,
Yeah, you don't want to go into that.
Ember has like 0 armor.
Plus, you've got an aggressive carry on the side of Team ATN. They can pick up a very early Blink Tagger, jump on the Ember Spirit, lead with that stun, follow up the Snowball Walrus Punch, or maybe a Shackle Shot from Wind Ranger. It's going to be, I think, a pretty tough game for the Ember Spirit in that 25 to 35 minute marker, where he's usually spending more time farming than trying to actively get kills. I think he's going to have a hard time during that period, but
10 seconds
we'll see. Team ATN definitely have a pretty single target focused lineup, and they do have two different carries to deal with, both the Ember Spirit and the SF. There is going to be a very obvious level 6 timing for new team, because their supports are so dependent on that.
This is a little bit weird for me. Like, Slardar Wind Ranger, that's an alliance special. Remember when Mad was on the team, he took like
SF.
Slardar Wind Ranger plus Tree.
Yeah,
That was their strategy.
or they would go SF Slardar all the time.
Oh.
The double minus armor.
The Wind Ranger synergizes so well with this Slardar just because you amplify, you don't really need damage items. All you need is that Ags. Even pre-Ags, like Wind Ranger plus negative armor synergizes so well. You can just get like one hero that can do it, and I guess Slardar's that hero, but this Wind Ranger's gonna have to farm a lot. And this Slardar, he's gonna have to get like the fastest blink BKB of his life. Life's gonna be so hard for him.
Yeah.
Like, this is, both teams actually want to play aggressively. Like, if you're on the side of new team, you don't want your Ember Sphere to be opened up on, nor do you want your Shadow Fiend to be opened up on. You probably want to be playing aggressively. I mean, they have a Disruptor, so that already speaks to that, right?
Yeah.
And if you're ATN, you don't want to just get fissured into Disruptor ultimate into AA ulti, because then you'll just lose 2 heroes off the bat. Like, this is a really weird style, because most teams have the duality of where, like, one team will go for the aggressive style, the other team goes for the passive one, and that's how you determine who wins at what phase of the game. But it's almost like both teams kind of have like a really similar outlook.
Well, that's a good way to get SF early souls. Have the Ancient Apparition body block for you and giving you a chilling touch, and you should get everything, but already Exotic Deer start off with 1 deny.
What a weird name. I think we mentioned it in the past. Exotic Deer.
Yeah. I mean, his whole team is actually a little bit weird in names.
I thought you were gonna say they're just weird people.
No, I mean El Lisash. I don't know, like, I'm not entirely sure where that comes from. I played a game with him today, actually, or against him rather.
Did you win?
It was that resolution game.
Oh, okay.
So I did.
Nice. Go you.
He was a Shadow Shaman.
Go you.
Yes.
That's not a game-winning hero.
He asked me, "What did I ever do to you, Capitalist?"
Honestly, that's not a good hero.
Yeah.
Shadow Shaman just has such slow move speed.
Yeah.
Like that. Those kinds of things are really underrated as a support. Like that's why I feel a lot of the supports have been phased out. Like Shadow Shaman especially.
Yeah.
You can never really get in a position to do anything. But
I mean, CM for a long time occupied the same kind of dead zone that Shadow Shaman did, despite some very clear buffs that she got in the last patch, where she was actually a very viable jungler, and everyone always knew it, but still, CM never picked up. Oh no, what? I just looked away from that lane. FN picks up the first blood and is only at half HP? What happened?
See,
What?
people are gonna think that was bad camera work, but that should just not happen.
Yeah, I literally just looked away for like 30 seconds. I don't really understand. Cito I may be caught here. Tusk is gonna look to run him down with the secondary ice shards. Oh, and a power shot actually.
He's pretty dead.
Yeah, that makes it much easier. Bottom lane will be grabbed by Go Black.
That's a pretty surprising lane to die in. Like FN's a pretty great player. Like he's a beast. Every time I run into a pub game, I know pubs don't signify much, but you can gauge mechanical skill, which is really important for things like that first blood that he just got. Like I think people look at pubs wrong. Like obviously it's not the paragon of teamwork, but if you're just looking for raw mechanical skill, you can kind of get a good judge of that. And
yeah. I mean, mid players, I would say more than most, can be judged in pubs a bit better. You know?
Yeah, for sure. It's so hard as a support player to really know if you're just like playing badly or what the communication is like, but you can just gauging mechanical skills pretty easy. And I mean, clearly he just first flooded a Wind Ranger with an SF mid.
Yeah,
I still
level 3 with half HP left.
Yeah, I still have to kind of see how that happens, because the Wind Ranger should be able to trade more efficiently early on.
Yeah,
and then you should never really be in a position where you get double raised. That's pretty difficult. But that's. I mean, it sounds like we're making a big deal of it, but it kind of is a big deal just because, like, this is a lane that the Wind Ranger is going to struggle to farm in for the first part, just because the SF is just going to be able to go to the jungle that much easier and farm it so much more efficiently. And so they have to be pretty worried here. And
yeah, you're supposed to be able to, like, the early part of the laning phase is supposed to be more your time than anything else, and when you give away that early kill, it means you've completely lost the lane now, because now you've got an SF who's level 5. He's just going to double raise the wave a lot of the times and go to stack.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't really that big of a fan of this matchup that they decided to run. Like, I think it's okay to run, like, Ranger against SF is pretty difficult, but I guess it's okay. But you definitely can't die on top of that. And luckily for them, they're at least getting some more kills around the map. Like, they got the one on bottom. They managed to pick off the clock, which is, I think, a pretty vulnerable offlaner, and the Earthshaker as well. So those are fairly significant pickoffs.
Sasu is level 4. He's getting a good amount of experience in the offlane, at least, even if he did die earlier. Seedoy is trying to make his offlane work. Win for the early boots is now working his way towards the soul ring, but he's only level 3 right now. His hard camp did get blocked away. The counter ward looking for his ward. So unfortunately, it's not going to have a whole lot to be able to make this lane go to his favor, except for Fissure blocking. Looks like the creepy equilibrium is pushing toward his tower right now, though.
I mean, as long as the Tusk isn't there and he knows that the Slardar is within a decent distance, he should be able to get out most of the time. If you think about it, like, the Dazzle is really the hero that is going to run at him and zone him out, but it's not a hero that can actually set up for a kill.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't get a level of the Poison Touch. And the slow is pretty garbage. Like, let's be real here.
Yeah.
That's not an actual spell.
For harassment capabilities, level 1 Poison Touch, I think, is pretty decent, but it's
not worth
no one's maxing it out early, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The slow is not valuable enough. The damage is just barely okay at level 1.
Yeah. I rarely see anybody max it out or even get a level of it. Like, most people just go, you know, the heal, stats, grave. Weave, of course, is really important, but other than that, it's not too big of a deal.
I think it's important to get the level of it when you're facing an offlaner who can battle with you. You know, trade hits. Like, you need to be able to have the Poison Touch to make that extra little damage go to your favor. So I think, like, Phoenix would be a good example of an offlaner who kind of needs to fight the support a lot of the time in order to get that experience. And that Poison Touch allows you to just have that little bit of extra efficiency where they can't trade hit for hit.
This is such a rough lane for the Wind Ranger right now. Like, she's not... she wasn't able to contest that top rune. But surprisingly enough, neither of New Team's supports go to the bottom rune. Like, I think that's on you to be able to protect that. Like, even if the Wind Ranger comes in, you should be able to make something happen as a result. Like, they're pinging her like crazy.
At the very least, deny it, you know?
Yeah, you can go from the creep camp and do it.
Is he really going to try? And there's no way he can take the stack, so...
He's trying to catch the SF, I think, when he goes for it. This is the only thing. But this is like a wasted endeavor. He already knows that the SF is aware. Like, the Shadow Fiend's not even showing in this mid lane.
Yeah.
This is just wasting 3 people's times. And this is even more significant for the Wind Ranger, because to get back to her creep camp, she actually has to walk through the tower.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just not efficient. Or she has to walk all the way around. Like, the SF's finally going to show mid. He actually waited the perfect amount of time. Like, the Wind Ranger gets spotted out. Just missed like 2 creep waves full of XP. The SF is now alerted to the fact that they're aware of the stack, so he'll just immediately take it. Yeah. And that was just a huge waste of time, because the Wind Ranger should have known that the ward was still up. Like, if you look at the time.
Tusk just throwing out the ice shards to spot out this other stack they saw earlier, but he's going to need a snowball save to be able to get out of this one. Oh, but he's on the wrong side of the fissure, so he's definitely dead. I didn't really think he was going to be able to escape in the first place, but the wrong side of the fissure does ensure that there's no escape.
One of the supports have to go mid right now. They should take XP. Somebody should go top too. Like, the The top lane is push in, and they've got a catapult too. So it's really inefficient for both Goblek and Cedo to be here.
Yeah.
I would actually kind of expect Goblek to go up there.
Yeah, because I think you needed the more assured CS on the Earthshaker. Because it's already, you know, a tough situation for him.
The Disruptor, I guess, can just use the Lightning too to pull the creep wave. But they're all gonna send Sidori up there. I guess this is fine too. Because the mid lane is not going to be open for as long as the off lane will.
Yeah.
Just because the Shadow Fiend will rotate back mid.
And he does have his Soul Ring, so he's got some spamming capabilities. The Fisher. Looks like this early tower will be going down, though. Hero Supreme's committing. TP comes in. The tower is going to be put into deny range, though, at the tail end. So, smart decision making. And they should be able to get the deny in their own time. Go Black, meanwhile, hoping to be able to pick up that level 6 for free before the SF comes back to lane.
FN is so farmed right now. He's got the fully completed mech. Nobody's even close to him. Like, the Wind Ranger's still working on upgraded treads right now, just to give you some perspective. The level of farm difference. It's going to be so difficult to fight into him right now. I don't know quite what the game plan is because the Wind Ranger had to go a lot better than this, and it's not even like their offlane was all too successful. The good news about the Clockwork, though, is once he hits 6, he's still one of the better counters to Shadow Fiend in the game, even if Shadow Fiend has, what's that one called? A mech? Like, Clockwork's so annoying in that regard. And he's got a fair amount of farm right now. If he hadn't died, he'd have like 200-300 net worth more. For good or worse, he's only 11 CS behind his Wind Ranger. That's pretty absurd if you think about it.
Looks like Tatsu is going to try and go for that early blade now, which I do agree with, but I don't usually try and go the broadsword first. It's nice if you're able to stack up that much gold to be able to go for it, but I actually much prefer the build that I've seen certain offlaners go for, where they get the Belt of Strength to build into treads, but it's just the Belt of Strength. They don't actually complete. There's a lot of efficiency in tread switching on Clockwork for sure, but I think if you're trying to boost for that fast blade mail, the Gloves of Haste can actually slow you down by quite a bit.
None of those options are happening. He went for an Urn.
Urn first?
Okay, this is like the all-out aggression build from ATN. Like, you don't get an Urn and then play passively. You're looking to get pretty aggressive on the map.
I'm just not sure, like, there are some assured kills for him, but they are going to be so far on the side of, oh, the stun goes out. Yoko actually falls here in the bottom lane. The Ember Spirit gets a bit too aggressive on Tusk, and Slaughter TP's in, able to get the kill.
That was a bit of an understatement. That was a little bit too over. Like, look where his Spirit is, too.
Yeah, he didn't even have he had to throw out a Spirit after he got stunned.
Yeah, he needed to throw that Spirit out in a much more defensive place. Like, you can't play that aggressively with your Spirits.
Yeah.
That's one thing I really liked about No-Tail's. No-Tail's Ember Spirit yesterday is that he always made sure. Like, some Ember Spirits just kind of forget because of the nuance of the game. It slows down, they're kind of relaxing, and then they just decide that they're not going to get a level of that, and then it ends up just completely screwing them.
Clockwork? Nah. He had to pull out some sort of hookshot play in order to get out of that one. He does draw a bit of attention, though, away from this middle tower, which Wind Ranger takes so damn quickly with the Phase Boots and Null Talisman build. Bottom lane tower is feeling some pressure out from Yoku, and No Fear is level 5 Ancient Apparition, not quite having that Ice Blast, which does change things around quite significantly.
The
Supreme.
Okay.
He's got a remnant out somewhere, right?
Oh, Yoku, you gotta get out of here.
And jump in. They're gonna Cogs push back. That's actually a nice Cogs push, but he's still gonna be latched over onto the side.
What's that? I don't think that hit. Because that's a level 3 shackle.
Yeah. Sorry. When I say latch, just jump over.
That should have been a hit shackle. He just had to up tilt it by like 10 degrees. This is pretty bad though for ATN. I don't know quite what the game plan is. And Yoku's just kind of playing the Ember a little bit too YOLO for my taste. He never has a Fire Remnant out, which scares the bejesus out of me.
I think the Slaughter just naturally assumed that he did have one out. Otherwise, he very easily could have just run around the side and caught the Ember Spirit underneath the tower, but...
For sure. He's got a Bottle Blink. I really like this build. They're gonna try to get aggressive right now. He's definitely getting shackled.
Nice.
All right.
Great pickoff there, 4-4. ATN, their bit of aggression is pulling the game back into their favor a bit after what was a pretty unsuccessful laning phase. And they do have the early Roshan, which they can take at any point in time. What do you think about the Midas Slardar? Do you think that just wasn't an option that he had to get aggressive as early as possible?
I don't like it at all. I think that we saw it the other day, right? In that captain's draft thing that we were playing in the Red Bull thing. But I think it just slows you down by so much. Being able to... Slardar's not a hero that necessarily is meant to keep up with other late gamers.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it's really nice to have stuff like a BKB and all that jazz, but it's not 100% of the way necessary. Those are just luxury items. You really just need a blink. And you're never meant to be the real true one position carry.
Yeah.
I don't think Slar should really ever be drafted in that role.
Yeah, you should always have a mid that is able to go late game better than you do.
Yeah. He's just meant to be the initiating carry that amplifies
Snowball?
damage.
Clockwork actually went on illusion on the side. Meanwhile, our Tusk is very much dead. Tried to ice block, but that won't be saved. And Elisash unable to get the Shallow Grave out on time. Cogs push back. Nice shackle shot from Exotic Deer.
That was a really smart Roshan attempt. It's going to buy them a lot of space and time. The Slardar is not going to take it the Wind Ranger is, because she's pretty squishy. But she's got so much backup behind her. Like, she's got the Grave, she's got the Snowball. So it's going to be pretty rough to kill her twice. I'm actually surprised that New Team isn't more aggressive because they had such an early mech. Like, that level 11 early mech Shadow Fiend is so hard to contest when you want to fight into it. But they're playing very passively right now.
Ring of a kill on Mech. Yoku, ring of a kill at Treads. And earn on the Disruptor. It's an odd one. Hand of Mine is going to be built by No Fear. And a Blink Dagger is actually pretty close for Seedoy. He'll get about a 16-minute Blink Dagger, unless he dies in the next fight.
They're going to go for this
great
bottom
time.
push. I like this. Like, this is what I was talking about. I don't know why they didn't just do this a little bit earlier. But his team isn't anywhere near him.
Yeah, and this time around they do have that Aegis, so they can fight with a little bit more luxury here. FN targeted by the Focus Fire. Great Fisher, though. Locking down a couple of heroes. Satsu will be stunned up. Managed to get off the hook shot. Lock 2 support. In great entry there from Satsu, and will be able to get the finishing blow as Hero comes in with the stun. Echo Slam gets laid out, but it does hardly anything. Yoku is now looking for a kill on anybody at this point in time, but the Snowball will be able to save our Tusk, and Yoku, he's going to be chain stun here and easily pop with a bash out from Hero. Satsu looking for the next kill, does have another earn charge. Perhaps he could just keep spamming this one out, and Hero will be able to clean up the kill next.
That was... Okay, so that was the right idea. Go for the bottom tower push. His team was nowhere near him. Like, again, you don't want to use the SF mech just for yourself in that position, nor do you want to use it just to heal like somebody that took a little bit of damage. Like, it's meant to be a team item, and probably more importantly than that, the 2 supports getting trapped by the cogs is huge because they represent most of your crowd control. Like, I don't think the Doctor got an efficient ulti off there. The Ancient Apparition also wasn't able to because everybody from ATN did a really good job of spreading. And on top of that, the Earthshaker kind of just like echoed one hero. Yeah. He wasn't nearly as useful as the Clockwork was right there. That was just unfortunate event after unfortunate event for New Team. That was just kind of poor communication. That's not really individual play. That's probably just FN might have just been like, hey, I'm going to push this. And everyone's like, oh, we're right there. Don't worry about it. Mm-hmm. You don't quite know who's to blame for that. But usually that's just a team thing.
They also probably should have done that before the Aegis was picked up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They had quite a bit of time to be able to do that. Yeah. Okay.
Jump back. Ember Spirit is okay. Got a good aggressive ward, but Ember Spirit jumped so far back that they didn't actually see where he's at. Yeah, Aghanim is going to be finished up soon for Exotic Deer, so his item progression has definitely taken a tempo upward. He's sitting in 3rd place behind the Slardar and the SF. TP down to the bottom lane. But everyone is going to be able to escape without a problem.
The Clockwork just missed the hook on Seedoy at top because he managed to pick up his Blink Dagger like literally right then at that moment. But Seedoy really has to get some levels, I think, to make a huge impact in this game. Clockwork is just going to be a little bit more efficient than he is. For now, anyways. The Shadow Fiend, though, I think has to get a BKB.
Yeah, especially if Clockwork, with the amount he's farming, he could actually still pick up the... No, he's going to go for the Glimmer Cape build. I played around with Glimmer Cape on Clockwork. I like it, but I still feel like Blade Mail is kind of the be-all, end-all item, oftentimes. Like, against the heroes, like the supports, like Disruptor, they're always going... If you jump on him, Disruptor's always going to drop Static Storm on you. So, you know, being able to return that damage via Blade Mail, just kill the Disruptor that much faster.
I guess it's a question at that point, then. What's more useful to you, the survivability and helping your team out, or the damage? And when you're playing against heroes like AA plus Disruptor and Earthshaker, it's probably more worth it to try to save your Slardar, for example, when he initiates in with you.
Yeah, I would say the Ice Blast is kind of the tipping factor there.
Yeah,
I would agree. Snowball is going to catch FN. Immediately going to be silenced up, though. Shackle Shot latches onto Seedoy, and they will be able to get that quick kill. FN lays out his ultimate. Is going to try and do battle here. Shalgrave actually saves the toss sometime. Will be able to get some additional damage out. But Clockwork now to be able to finish him off, it looks like. Trapped inside, though, a bunch of creeps. Battery Assault isn't really doing much at all. Hero, meanwhile, going to be caught by Yoku. And Glimpse back is also going to catch Exotic Deer, who's going for Gold Black. Can't quite get him, though. And now, Exotic Deer's just got to retreat.
I'm not quite sure why they took that fight, though. Like, they didn't have the Aghanim Scepter on their Wind Ranger completed. I guess they wanted to try to get some utility out of their Aegis, but even that was not efficient. Like, no part of that fight really was very necessary, in my opinion. Like, if you wait out the Aghanim Scepter, then you're probably going to win that fight just because of the raw damage that you have. You've almost got a BKB completed on your Slardar too. Like, why push the issue there? Like, you've got all of these item timings coming up that are really relying on just being able to survive.
Yep.
Like, the Clockwork almost has his... Oh, he's actually going to go the other way. He's just going to get the cloak, the casual cloak in a Blade Mail.
Okay.
Alright,
I'm down with that. I mean, the cloak has so much value in the first place.
Yeah.
But I do agree with Blade Mail here for sure. Immediate Snowball. Goldblock is going to be caught here. Ice Shards will probably be laid out in a second. Oh no, he actually doesn't have it anymore. Still on cooldown, but Go Black kind of trapped here. Hook shot in. Oh, they're going to be able to grab FN. The Ice Blast over the top really doesn't hit much there at all. And with the double damage on Exotic Deer, Echo Sam gets laid out. See it, unable to finish off any one hero. Exotic Deer even getting saved by the Snowball now. Another Shackle Shot, bounce around. Ember Spirit looking to be able to get that kill. Exotic Deer running, wind run, blocked out. No fear, trying to keep up with this one. Looks like Exotic Deer will be able to escape. Yoku was hoping to be able to get some other kill, but the damage just too much with Amplify and DD. Exotic Deer comes back for the dominating streak. 4 down on the side of New Team as these fights just keep on spiraling out of control for the CIS crew.
That was just a really good initiation by Sasu. This time he had mana, and the previous one he didn't. So last time he just kind of hooked into the SF and then was just like, what now?
Yeah, there was creep waves, so his battery assault that was ticking was only hitting the creep wave. You know, the 4 different melee creeps that were there.
Yeah, so you've got the Aghanim Scepter now completed on the Wind Ranger. That was just a good fight to take. The DD room might have been more efficient even than having the Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah.
So that was just a good fight to take. Like, I'm a fan of that one. That was a good maneuver. And with it completed, he's
hook
also...
shot, Seedoy! Oh, what? That wasn't where he wanted to go. He tried to grab Seedoy, accidentally went into the creep wave instead. Snags no fear, and it's now going to be pulled back to his doom. His allies are not going to be able to save him. Shalgrave will only buy him time for the inevitable to happen.
That was a bit aggressive.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that collectively.
If the hook shot was up 1 second earlier, I think he would have gotten a free pick off on Seedoy, and it would have been a really nice play. He would have gotten out, but he needed that 1 extra second, and then misses the hook shot because of that extra second. Took too long, and Seedoy went out of vision, and then ended up going into the creep wave. Yoku? Oh dear. He will be able to bounce back, but still. Very close call.
I think if you're ATN, you just wait for the next Roshan. Like, they kind of got outplayed in the laning phase, and the Shadow Fiend got a monster start. Like, look at the CS difference alone. He more than doubles the Slardar and the Wind Ranger. But the fact is that the team fights, when it comes down to it, ATN is just playing it a bit smarter. And their lineup is just meant to be aggressive, like I said. Like, New Team's lineup is not meant to be passive. You want to be able to use your disruptor to be able to get aggressive and run around the map and do stuff.
Right.
And I think that has to be a BKB on the Slardar, or he's got to be close to it. I think they should wait for the BKB on the Slardar, take a Roshan, and then take all the tier 2 towers out. Like,
well, no, they're going to have a team fight instead. Clockwork already jumping in, finishes off the Ancient Apparition. And that will be that, it looks like.
Be careful, ATN. You have a lead. Don't lose this.
Don't throw it.
There's no need.
4,000 gold lead, and they do have Roshan to their favor. With the amount of control that they have over the map right now, they should be able to take the next Rosh, which is in a question mark amount of time because Dota's broken right now.
They can go for this bottom tier 2 if they want. Just control of the jungle. There's more efficient spots for them to farm. As long as the Slardar doesn't show on the map, it's so hard for Yoku to be able to farm at all. Like, look at his build right now. This is not a damage dealing Ember Spirit, nor will it be this game.
Is he going Manta?
Maybe? I've never seen an SNY Ember Spirit.
Yeah. So just get rid of the amplify damage.
Yeah. This is why I don't like the Ember, though, in this position. Like, we were talking about it before. Imagine a hero like Razor could actually hold his own, purge off the Slardar, like, slow people down, tank some damage.
Hero, he's going to be running right into this smoke. Gets in melee range to 2 different heroes. Now the hookshot comes over to the side. He will be blown up, but still, Sasu's going to be able to get a lot of damage out. Go Black is taking all that blade melt. He managed to stay alive here thanks to the mech, but Sasu is going to be able to not get... Oh, just barely. And Shadowway managed to keep him alive. Go Black is going to be snowballed while Exotic Deer tries to get away from that area, but an SF Raze does manage to finish him off. That was 2 cores of ATN in exchange for the Disruptor. I thought that was actually going to be a good initiation, despite it was Slardar running into a smoke like that. But turns out his team just not really close enough to be able to capitalize on his 2-man stun.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that play was. Like, they either have to 5-man farm out the jungle together and then go for the Roshan, but running into that, obviously they were smoked, so it wasn't the best idea. And it was hard because the Dazzle was nowhere near to save, nor was the Tusk.
Yeah.
Like, every single time ATN's losing a fight right now, it's just because they're taking these weird disconnected fights. Like, just play objective gaming, you know? You've got a Solar Crest completed on your Dazzle, you've got Slardar who can just go for the Roshan at any point. Like, they can take it in like 5 seconds, and it costs them almost nothing. That's the great part of it, because the Slardar ulti, really low cooldown, you Solar Crest, the Wind Ranger ultimate is in the same position. Like, a 15-second cooldown on that is like pretty much nothing. So just go for the Roshan, play it a little bit safe, don't overextend anything if you can help it, push out the lanes to make sure that they can't really contest for it, and then you can pretty much take tier 2 towers for free.
You did mention the Solar Crest on Dazzle, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a pretty significant pickup.
Yeah. And as you said, will allow them to be able to do Roshan so incredibly quickly. It's what, minus 15 from Amplify, minus 10 Solar Crest, minus 25 armor. Just from those 2.
The Wind Ranger will hit hard. Yeah. We agree on this.
He only has 8 armor. Good lord.
We agree on this.
Crystallis now for the Wind Ranger.
Is this a smoke and a Roshan play?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they didn't even try and hide it that much.
They really didn't.
But that's the thing, right? Like, in that sort of situation, it doesn't matter if the enemy team sees you.
No,
because they're not going to come challenge you, because what if that smoke isn't into Roshan?
Yeah.
What if they're sitting on the cliff, you know, what if they're sitting on the high ground in this area?
If you get initiated on like that, going down to the low ground just to defend a Roshan, you probably just lose the game. Like, almost immediately. You just you lose 5 heroes, and then they take Roshan, and then the build is, or the late game lead is so significant that it's hard to keep up at that point. But ATN, I think the better play right now is just to force them back, take this tier 2. There's no way that New Team contest this tier 1 or this tier 2 at bottom. So their plan is just to punish and force them to come back and then split push again. Like, here's what's going to happen. They're going to push all the way up here, start hitting the tower. When ATN's heroes show up at bottom, they'll just continue and play the split push game for as long as they can. But this is why heroes like one at a time are coming in. Like, this is the perfect play right now from ATN.
Satsu's going to be able to get the pick up on Go Black. Not quite. Actually, the Glimpse will be able to save him. Snowball from the side will be... Oh, no, he ran right into that SF ulti and will go down because of it. The Fisher on the side is trying to stop Hero, but Hero just keeps on running through these heroes with a 10-second BKB. They take out 3.
Flee, Yoku. Flee. You don't want to be here.
Pops a Manta in order to get rid of that amplified damage, but Slardar is still on his way.
He's still
run
chase.
out of remnants.
They spotted him too. He's run out.
Hero's gonna
got the angle.
He's got him. Yoku has no more remnants.
He's got a remnant.
Oh, he has one more remnant.
You gotta get out of here.
Oh my god. Crit plus amplified damage. He's not getting away from that one.
That was genius by ATN. What you just saw there, like the clockwork TPs to the tier 2 tower in the middle, then they set the trap by sending 2 heroes in the backline here, and then they all converge at once so that the 2 heroes can TP onto this tier 2 tower at top.
Yeah.
Because they knew exactly what I was, that's one of the most classic plays. You're behind the enemy team Roshans, you force the tier 2 rotation at top, and then you waste a full minute and a half of the Aegis. But that right there just made things so hard, and they're going to get a pick on the
FN is dead as well.
This is so rough. I mean, like, no offense to ATN, but this is not like a known team or anything. So new team should be the team that has the edge, just from competitive experience and name value. And I mean, ATN is just saying, no, screw that. Like, look what we can do. When it comes to farming, like, they're still getting kind of stomped. But when it comes to actual team fighting and engagements and how to set up, this is just pure teamwork. I think new team is relying too much on their individual skill, whereas ATN is just outworking them when it comes to the tactics. And it's pretty brilliant. Like, the way that they set up that top tier 2 fight, so smart.
Yeah.
Can't appreciate that enough.
Exotic has the Aegis, so he doesn't really care too much. He'll be on the front lines with this win run. Chipping away at that tier 3 tower. So he probably shouldn't just give up the Aegis for free. Still another 2 minutes left on it. Get some heals. And ATN will actually back up here.
I think that's not a bad move. You're still playing against an Ancient Apparition plus Disruptor. At the same time, though, maybe I would have gone for it just because the SF doesn't have souls. That's a pretty significant factor. That's honestly what I feel like SF's biggest drawback is when he instantly respawns, he comes back with no souls, your teamfight potential just drops off the map. You just deal less damage with your ult, your right clicks.
Yeah, it's certainly not a respawn hero, that's for sure. Or a buyback hero, that's for sure.
It's not like Storm, where you just like instantly get mana, zip in.
Yeah.
Hoo hoo ha ha. Shadow Fiend just is one of those static heroes.
Zip, zap.
Yeah.
For those guys who don't know ATN, they are the only real Polish team representing professional Dota 2 scene.
Go them.
Yep. They've been around for, I think, probably the last year and a half. Kind of the same crew. Elisash, Exotic Deer. Some of the names have changed. Like this stand-in of theirs. Hero and Sasso, I believe, are relatively new. I think they're like probably in the last 6 months.
They're playing well. Like, this Clockwork for me has been playing it pretty well. The Slardar has had a few missteps, but even he's been playing the right mixture of aggression. It just feels like they're playing more as a team than new team are. Like, new team's team fights just kind of feel all over the place. You haven't really seen like the coordinated Ancient Apparition, Earthshaker Fissure, and Earthshaker Echo Slam fights that you're used to seeing. Earthshaker's one of the best counter initiation heroes in the game. He's also one of the best at being able to go on those BKB heroes that are really vulnerable. Like, you can blow up that Slardar, I think, with an Echo Slam and the Ancient Apparition and Blast. But they've been pretty slow to the draw right now.
Sardar's building into the AC.
Typical.
Guardian Greaves will be picked up eventually by our Tusk. Clockwork's going for the Aghanim Scepter.
That's a DD. The Wind Ranger has a DD on her too.
Does she?
I think the Aegis is about to fade, but this is not a fight you want to take if you can help it. Again, this is such a good setup for the fight. They're TPing into different towers to make sure. They're showing the Wind Ranger at top to pretend as if they're going for this, and then the Wind Ranger will just TP into the front.
Yep, they jump in. FN is immediately going to be the target here. Cogs push back. Meanwhile, the Tusk actually snowballs a bit deeper, trying to draw attention
FN's
away.
getting destroyed.
Meanwhile, FN is focused down by both the Wind Ranger as well. As that SF, there's a TP out, and looks like their Tusk may end up going down here with the damage over time. No, Shalgrave actually going to be able to save him. Go Black does go down. Really great read there from Tusk, especially. Clockwork jumps in, forces the attention on the SF, especially with the Cog's pushback, basically isolates the SF entirely, and then Tusk snowballs way deep into the enemy, but forces all this attention around him. There was no opportunity for New Team to turn and help the SF at all.
Yeah, it was pretty surprising that they got caught by the exact same trap twice in a row now. Because New Team are doing the standard setup, which is you go for that split push. You have to in that situation, because you're not going to defend by that tier 2. What you're really thinking about is, in those type of scenarios, like, is it valuable enough for us to potentially lose 5 heroes to go for this? So they go for this bottom tier 1 push, thinking it's going to be a free tower, but ATN set that up so well. Like, this is just good Dota overall. They're playing it pretty much perfectly. I'm a pretty big fan now. That's just good, smart play overall. They coordinated that fight too, because they went in as the Wind Ranger was initiating. So there was almost zero downtime.
Smart play there from Saucy, using the hook shot on his ally in order to get the distance away from the enemy. And will survive.
I think you take this fight.
Oh yeah, they're going back in. Slardar thinking about it. Doesn't have his Blink Dagger up yet. So
the Wind Ranger's going for the split. He's trying to find No Fear right now. They should just get out while he's doing this. Exotic Deer's gonna miss the chance. Yeah, they're just playing good smart Dota though. Like, the Wind Ranger goes and looks for No Fear at that time, which I think is a fine play to make. And then at the same time, his teammates disengage completely, because they know that once he shows the top, no matter what happens, they'll take that fight.
Yeah,
100%. And it looks like the Wind Ranger should go back for the MKB actually, instead of fully completing this Daedalus. Like, his damage is tough. It's the true shot that's going to make the most sense for him. When he's got the Slaughter Amplify on the SF every fight anyways, there's no reason to just blindly complete the Daedalus here. But I think at the same time, the Shadow Fiend, I don't even know, man. The Butterfly gives you a lot of armor, I guess, but it's not going to do a lot for you once this Wind Ranger goes to this tech switch, but I guess he has no way of knowing that.
do you think if he has an idea, or maybe he sees the MKB coming? No, never mind. Just picked up the Eagle song.
If he had complete information like I did, he'd probably just go Scotty or AC.
Yeah, I was about to say, just leave the Talisman for later, essentially, and go Scotty.
Yeah, but the Wind Ranger is just playing it smart. Like, she has the data list if she wants it, so she's definitely going for the MKB. There's no reason for her not to at this point.
Ember Spirit, what do you got? Oh, God.
Oh, it's depressing.
That hurts. Yeah. The good old 40-minute battle. That's how you know it's a rough game on Ember Spirit.
You take what you can get at this point.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Manta was really the play. It's not helping him whatsoever. He still dies in like 3 seconds. Remember that top chase?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're getting chased down, like, if they want you dead, you're dead.
Yeah.
Going for the Battle Fury and just hoping for the big play, in my opinion, is the better idea. There's just like weird principle in Dota. If you're far enough behind, like, the right play is probably to go for Manta or BKB in a lot of scenarios as a defensive item.
Yeah, if you're super far behind, that's why you see the Divine Rapier come out, right?
Yeah, you just kind of have to skip that option.
You just have to go for the most efficient late game YOLO builds possible.
Yeah, they're not even that far behind though.
Clockwork gonna be snagged here. Or snagging Go Black, rather. Free kill there. Like the Glimmer K usage where he actually is able to dodge the glimpse back. FN is going to turn. Oh, Echo Slam actually catches two. That is going to be Tusk and Clockwork down. And Hero stuns absolutely nothing. And now he's going to be caught here. Forced to pop that BKB and TP out.
Okay, that was like a really confusing snowball. Because they knew that everybody from New Team was there, but they still committed for that. Like, you probably don't even lose anybody if you don't snowball there. And you know FN has a BKB available. That was just a really odd engagement to take.
Yeah, it was probably one of those scenarios he was like, oh, there's one dead and you have Ice Blast on you. Let me just protect you from Ice Blast. And
no, he had Glimmer Cape on.
Yeah.
Just run, fools.
Well, there's that Battle Fury. 35 minutes. A bit earlier than expected.
That was maybe like the freest Echo Slam I've ever seen. They just kind of delivered it to him. They're like, here.
Free Echo.
You just wait for the next Roshan, which is up right now. The weird thing is they keep not waiting for their item timings. Like, all you have to do is wait for the starter to finish his AC, and then you take a fight.
Yeah.
AC is not an insignificant item by any means. But it feels like ATN is a... I mean, they're playing really well, but they could just be like 20% more disciplined, and this could be just such a good showing for them. And not to nitpick or anything like that, which is what I'm doing.
Ooh, that Roshan just disappears. Snowball into Seedoy. He has no Echo Slam. Sauce's returning a lot of damage out with his Blade Mail. There goes the BKB, and they're just making a pretty clean retreat right now. See if they go back in. As the Ice Blast is about to fade, Hero's going to pop the BKB.
He's going to pop his Cheese and go back in.
Yeah, Cheese is going to come out, and he's going to be able to get a two-man stun. Nicely lined up. Exotic Deer will turn and fight as best as possible. Nice snowball in. Actually stalls up. Seedoy will be able to get the Walrus Punch and the Rocket to finish off the SF. His explosion, though, does kill the Tusk. Exotic Deer, though, keeping the Aegis in hand. Hero looking for more, though. Hoping to be able to chase down Seedoy. Won't quite get him in time. On the other side, no fear. Actually will be able to get Exotic Deer here. At least that Aegis.
Man, that's rough. You get like 3-shot when you're amplified damage to support. I mean, new team had to know. Once that Roshan was down, ATM was just going to wait out the Ice Blast and all in back.
Yeah.
And the starter played that perfectly. Like, I thought he was going to cheese a lot earlier than that, but he held it for so long. And that AC in that fight made such a big difference. Nobody from his team was taking damage. He no longer took damage as a result of that fight. The Wind Ranger just tore through FN. And that MKB, 1400 HP, but you're not surviving, buddy. What is the negative armor that he's working with right now? That's like 20... I think after a while...
He's got 22 armor, right? Yeah, so he starts going into... but that's the thing, he has 22 armor, so he's still dipping down to 30... He's doing -8. Minus 8 armor.
But then you've got the Solar Crest as well.
No, I was including the Solar Crest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, now it's 6. Because he's around...
Solar Crest, AC.
Oh, because he finished Butterfly.
Yeah.
So now it's 6. -6 armor. Math.
It's rough.
Still, though, I mean, the game is pushing later and later for new team. That's got to be... The fact that ATN has yet to take a lane of racks by 38 minutes is probably a little concerning for ATN. If you, as you said, if they just played a cleaner game, I think they'd be perfectly fine with where they're at. No lane of racks, but they would be farther ahead in net worth and feel a lot more comfortable with their item progression. But as it stands, push uphill is gonna be pretty difficult. Yoku now has a Blink Dagger. So he's going to be a bit tough to lock down.
They're going to go for this bottom tier 2 or tier 3 push. The tower's got enough HP to withstand a lot, but the Wind Ranger can just go high ground. She's got to be careful though. Like, if she just gets solo echoed with an AA ult, I don't know if she can survive that. So Exotic Deer's got to be playing back and forth between these.
Going to be caught by the kinetic fields here. Ice Blast is coming in. They'll give him the Glimmer Cape, though.
Be careful, friend.
You're not really as tanky as you think you are. Sasu. Good thing he missed that hook. I don't think that was really where he wanted to go. Top lane, they do have the SF who's pushing in. Why? I know somebody mentioned this on Reddit, but the colors not being the right... where they should be?
I have no idea. I don't follow any of that.
I think the heroes that now have set area... Oh, I don't know.
I'm just waiting for all of the fixes to be implemented first before I play Dota again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been playing some FPL games just to keep up. Because if I don't play Dota for like longer than a day, then everything kind of gets out of order.
Oh, yeah.
But I just play Dota like once or twice a day.
Go Black, go! Okay,
the initiation,
jump in. They're going to be able to finish off Seedoy nice and easy. Snowball in, also gets Go Black. And now it's a question of how many more kills can they get. ATN buyback out from Seedoy is actually going to force them back now. FN starts focusing on Hero. The damage is not fast enough. Jump in, Echo Slam in the back. Going to go for Sasu. Can't quite finish him off, though. Shackle Shot not going to latch to anything, and they do
got
get
the
a
cheese
heal
off
out.
Too.
Hero thinking about making a jump.
Run.
Oh, hook shot. was coming in, but I feel like that did actually latch the Ember Spirit, but he was still, like, he was remnanting.
Yeah, that was a really weird interaction right there. Because the Slardar also had opportunity to blink forward and catch, but they're just going to back off. They forced the buyback. They got a lot of kills out of that. They lost pretty much nothing. The rich get richer. That's a 3k net worth Tusk, who's just going to grab a full blink dagger. Wind Ranger almost has a fully completed BKB. This is what I wanted to see. Like, disengage, wait for your items. No reason not to.
Yeah.
You're poor. You can get rich. You can get that 4th item slot.
What's the point of winning if you're poor while you do it?
I mean, you gotta have some style while you win, honestly.
It is a series after all. Maybe you can demoralize new team going into game number 2.
There's no real concept for like item timings where you're like, I have to hit this item timing to start this push or anything like that. But like the one thing that really does exist in Dota is if you're within like a grand from an item, just wait for it.
Yeah.
It'll make such a big difference completing items.
So you can tell he's got Aghanim Scepter. Using the hook shot to get closer to his team so they can get out there and start doing some battle. 5-man smoke up. If they get a good pick off here, this could be pretty much the end of the game, or at least seriously gimping. New team will be able to find Go Black. That's a start. Can they find anything more, though? Oh, they've caught Seedoy. That's going to be a great pickup, especially since they know he does not have buyback. Sazu, whoa! Sazu. He jumped in deep. I'm not sure if he was just looking for something right up the cliff area or if he actually wanted to go this deep in, but he's caught No Fear.
He's got Glimmer Cape and Blade Mail up. He's going to definitely kill No Fear. Like, I actually don't think this is a fight that new team can take anymore. Their Earthshaker's dead. They know there's no buyback up, and if either of those carries get caught by the Slardar or the Wind Ranger, then the game might actually just be done. So they've got to be careful backing him up here.
Ah, Sazu. He's not going to commit. He's going to back out. Ice Blast. Nope.
Okay, I mean, now the Ice Blast is on cooldown too.
Yeah, that's as good as killing the Ancient Apparition. He's not effective for another 30 seconds. Now the jump in onto FN. Just push him back. Create some space. Allow your Wind Ranger to finish off these buildings.
Sasu should have just YOLO'd it.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
I agree.
Well, create some space. My team's right behind me. But they're still going to lose 2 sets of Rex here, for sure.
Yeah.
You can't fight without AA ults. Even the Disruptor at this point means a lot, because there's no real BKB threats. It's just going to be Focus Fire down. Exotic here does a lot.
Walrus Punch.
Oh. He just glimpsed it back closer.
Tells thank you for the
Nice.
3 little small skip it a jump out, and ATN. Now finally they can take probably a big sigh of relief and go, okay, now we're finally getting some big time objective. It's 43 minutes into the game, but we've taken double racks. We're essentially one very small step away from finishing out this game.
They just have so much gold right now to work with, and ATN doesn't even really have to take inefficient trades anymore, or efficient trades anymore, just because they're so far ahead that it doesn't really matter. Like, they have buybacks, they've got everything that they need to complete this game. Your Slardar's just got a ton of money, all your side heroes too. It's a pretty underrated thing. Goblik would kill right now for pretty much anybody's net worth.
Poor Goldblack. He's got a point booster. Still regular boots and point booster.
Like, this Dazzle still has this bottle from this Wind Ranger. That's some gold right there. He's got 2,900 gold right now. You've got a full Crimson Guard too on your Slardar. He's so rich that he decides to get just this item.
Yeah, the item that doesn't even have a whole lot of value in the late game, but it helps source the Ember Spirit. Yeah. Might as well.
He's like, whatever. I've got money to play with.
If this was a closer game, would you have rather seen him go for like Heart or something?
I don't know if Heart's the item, just because of the AA. Let's see. What would be amazing here? I don't know. Go for the Blink Shiva's play.
Okay.
Maybe even a Hex. Hex is an underrated core item.
I could see that, especially on an initiator like Slardar, who's a soft semi-carry at this point in the game. Wind Ranger's the real carry. So it's 14-31 right now. Looks like everyone's back in the game. So it's 15,000 gold lead for ATN. Same goes in experience. Any items we haven't talked about? I'm sure Wind Ranger's got to have a data list soon. Soon. I like the fact that he went back for the BKB instead of completing the data list after the MKB.
Yeah. I agree. This was definitely the right setup. I mean, what do you... I feel really weird to say stuff like this, but I think this game's over. Like, they've just lost too many consecutive fights in a row. Their Ember kind of just has to buy out. Like, I think the Ember and the SF actually just buy out. Like, a lot of people say, oh, well, you need buyback for the base defense. But what does buyback matter if you're getting just stomped in the fights?
Yeah.
Like, you would rather just have one really clean hero rather than, like, a hero times 2.
Yeah, even if they did, like, buy back and try to fight, you could just lose Mega Creeps at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Before you even get into the fight.
Like, there's no point in saving, I think, in this kind of situation.
Yeah.
You really kind of have to learn how to play it by ear, because most of the time you do want the buyback. But for example, like, the SF won't really matter, because he's not going to respawn with souls anyways. The Ember Spear probably makes the difference, just because he's such a fragile hero to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Ember is meant to deal a lot of damage right now for free. But this initiation is going to just be the game ender.
45 seconds, smoke. They know something's on the side, and that's why the initiation comes out. Go Black. Throws out his ultimate, not really getting that much. Meanwhile, it's the hero also going in for no fear, trying to stop that Ice Phantom going out. It will get out anyway, but Exotic Tears already popped his BKB, trying to stay ahead of Yoku, but a Remnant Jump is going to be able to catch up to him. Nice Shackle Shot. Now, he'll actually be able to turn things around with Hero comboing up the Snowball over the top. They finished off Cito. Yoku will die as well. That's the full man wipe. And I'm sure that's going to be a GG call out from New Team, as they only have a buyback on Ancient Apparition and Ember Spirit.
They all have buyback travels. Like, that's the sign.
Yeah.
When the entire team has buyback travels, like, that Dazzle just bought like a full 4-staff even after that effect. Didn't even really care. Just too many sloppy fights in a row from New Team.
Yeah, so well played by ATN. Now jumping up to a score of 3-2. Actually, I think they're occupying, I believe, the second place position now. Because of that win. If they get another win, they'll tie it up, kind of, with Scary Faces, who are 4-0.
Is Scary Faces the team that they picked the techies against ATN, right?
I think so.
Yeah, they're looking pretty scary.
All right, guys. Short break, and we'll be back with our second game of the series.
Haste! so long, where only fools are gone. Venom, keep it shut. I hate it when you hiss and preach about your new messiah, cause your theories catch fire. I can't find no
Dire team pick.
FN, friend of mine, really good player overall, no fear, 8K player. I recognize almost nobody from alternate attacks, and not taking anything away from them. Like, they played really well, but you expect a team with that kind of roster to kind of put away a team like ATN pretty easily.
Yeah. I'll let you sit down.
I love sitting. It's my favorite thing in the world.
What about laying down?
Dire team.
That's good too. Ask Cap, I'll lay down anywhere.
Blitz is just like in between games. I'll see him, and I know what he's doing too. Like, I'll see him, and he'll kind of like start like spreading some things out, and I'm like, oh, he's going to the floor. And sure enough, Blitz will just lay down on the floor.
I love
waiting
laying
out.
down. Yeah, the floor is. People underrate floors. Honestly, floors are like. What are they? Floors are like the. Trying to think of a good analogy here.
10 seconds remaining.
There's no underrated heroes in Dota anymore.
10 seconds to come up with an analogy.
Floors are like the warlock of sleeping spaces. You know?
Reserve time.
You don't want to use it, but once in a while.
Once
when
in a
you
while,
have
when
to,
you do use it, it's
perfect.
Good. It's good. All right.
It's like a Korean thing, I think. Just laying on like hard floors. My cousin loves floors. Like, they're just like, they're all about that floor life. Whenever like we invite them to our house in America, we're like, we got extra beds. They're like, nah.
Floor life.
This floor. This hard wooden floor.
This floor, though. Damn.
This is some good floor. I'm off my A game, guys. I'm really sick and tired right now.
Wouldn't you, would they appreciate carpets?
No, they're not about that carpet life.
No. It's got to be hardwood.
Hardwood floors.
Cement.
Yeah, just the rougher the better.
Whatever.
I've slept on cement before. Like, it's not that bad.
Radiant team ban.
So have I, actually. So have I.
I slept on the ESL floor. I slept on this one. It doesn't matter. I would be such a good hobo.
Dire team ban.
Blitz. You'd have to give up way too much money to be a hobo.
But here's the thing, okay? Here's the important thing.
Yeah.
I live that lifestyle kind of halfway already.
Fair enough.
10 seconds.
For people that don't know, I don't own a phone.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big drop off.
Seconds remaining.
Alright, we're meant to talk about the game. There's only like 10% of people that really like us talking about random stuff, and the other 90% would prefer us to do our generic draft analyzing.
Team ban.
That's
So-
why I work for the 1%.
Exactly. I mean, honestly, surprise, Clockwork Winter Wyvern, Lena Earthshaker.
Mine's being blown here in the first one, too.
A lot of analysis. Okay, I'll do it. Lena, just a versatile hero, fantastic at pretty much every phase of the game. Can run her anywhere. Aghanim's upgrade is probably the best in the game.
Do you
It
want me to
really is.
like actually pull out Audacity and I could just record you saying
It
this?
would be
and,
nice.
And I could just like I could have a whole entire setup and I could just have the labels and it's just
Yeah.
like and we see the first big Winter Wyvern, click. Blitz just comes in. Honestly, Winter Wyvern, great hero all around.
Shadow Fiend Radiant side, you know, it explains itself.
Our second set of bans. This time Gyrocopter will be taken out of the pool early.
Why do they not?
Value Gyrocopter? I don't
Gyro
know.
did not just suddenly fall out of favor, did he? Did I forget about this?
No.
Like, I'm pretty sure Rocket Barrage is still the same spell. Like, it can't be different, guys.
I don't know. I don't know what it is about alternate or new team that they don't seem to value that hero.
It's
but-
kind of unbelievable how useless Homing Missile is,
Dire
and yet
team
how
ban.
good he still is. Like, almost everybody's toolkit features 4 good spells.
Mhm.
In the OP range, I feel. Except for Gyro. That's how good Rocket Barrage and Call Down are.
Homing missile,
Homing Missile.
Rocket Barrage.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Oh, that's an early pick anti-mage. I like this.
Why?
I just think it's one of those heroes that forces a type of playstyle. Like, it's one of those heroes that really induces panic, in my opinion, because you never just want to look up and see an anti-mage is like, oh, 12-minute Battle Fury, 18-minute Vlad's Manta, and you're just like, well, we lost the game. That's kind of how it feels like sometimes.
Don't get any heroes that require spells, guys.
It counters so many different heroes too.
Yeah. Queen of Pain gotta be banned out. Huskar.
That's another. The Queen of
Last
Pain.
pick Huskars, man, by the way. Twice in my pubs today.
Yeah. Did you just
Disgusting.
insta lose?
No. The first time it was the last pick Huskar. It was the game where I was versus Resolution and Elisash. And we won that game. But the next one, we lost. We lost because I had a last pick AFK random, which we needed a support, and he got a Doom. And I told him, I was just like, can you just abandon the game because you screwed everyone here. Yeah, I mean, like you just went, like I understand, like real life happens, right? But if I do that and I don't random the role that we need, I'm just gonna take the abandon because it's like, well, at least I save everyone else's MMR, whatever, and I'm gonna be good because I don't leave games.
Cap, you negative piece of shit. You're the type of people that, you know, that I'm gonna mute, and I have 37 people muted in Dota 2. I know that exact number because I write them down in WordPad.
What?
Right after I do it, yeah, after I mute somebody, and
Really?
you'd be 38 if you did that.
If I just calmly told you, like, hey, your last pick random really screwed us, can you just tank the abandon and we can move on to the next
Cap,
game?
that's that guy's right to play ranked and do whatever the hell he wants. What do you think this is, man?
Yeah,
you think you think this is game cap MMR hour?
It's just his right to waste 4 other people's hour of time.
You think that stops anybody from doing anything bad in the world? You think that common sense applies to anybody?
You're right, Blitz. What am I thinking?
Yeah.
All right, Bloodseeker's a big counter to the Animage.
Yes, but
And-
Storm Spirit is not. Storm Spirit is a counter to none of these heroes.
Why did they pick that hero?
The Winter Wyvern, the Anti-Mage, the Skyrath. If you had to ask me, like, the 3 top heroes that beat Storm, that's like number 1, number 3, and number 4.
Yeah, Disruptors too, right?
Yeah, Disruptor or Lena. They kind of vacillate for me,
okay.
depending on my mood.
Yeah.
But those are... Because Winter Wyvern just destroys you. You
Yeah.
get a BKB and then it's like, oh, I'm cursed. I'm dead in 3 seconds. All my mana's gone. Skyrath just messes up your early game beyond anything you can play on. I guess it's just because they're Radiant side. And FN is... Yeah, and it's FN's best hero. It's like the equivalent if I pick it. You know, it's just... It's the hero I play. Might as well.
All right, last pick time. Dying was banned away by Team Alternate. We have the Wind Ranger. I guess it is pretty smart to be afraid of some sort of aggro lane from new team at this point. Because Bloodseeker is so good in a safe lane position. Safe lane solo. What do you want mid against a Storm Spirit?
Anything.
It doesn't matter.
It's just like everything beats him.
5 seconds.
Do you want to hear my concept?
Blitz is really pulling for the idea that Icefrog is listening and 6.85 is coming up. He's just really doing everything he can to make sure those Storm Spirit points are in there.
I'm trying to be...
Like, no. Everything beats him. Honestly, he's just a shit hero.
Did I tell you, by the way, I thought of a hero concept?
Uh-oh.
I'll show it to you. I even drew it and everything, and you know how good I am at. It's hilarious looking.
MS Paint, yeah.
Yeah. I showed it to my sister, and she's like, "You need to burn that. Like nobody should ever see that."
Five
It will drive me insane if I see it.
That's a Legion commander, though. That's another great counter to Storm. I just don't know where you go with it. Okay, they're gonna dual lane mid.
Dual lane, Sky Legion? Or...
I think Sky AM is more likely.
Okay.
Let me think really quick. Legion plus Sky is just a good combination, by the way. So is Legion plus or Skywrath plus Clockwork.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing is the cores don't really have synergy. Like Legion, AM, and Clock don't really have the best synergy. But I do like Skywrath here with all of them pretty much. They all kind of work out.
Can we go back to the fact that you have a notepad full of people?
I have a notepad
Like,
for everything.
In game, you have a notepad for everything? In game, you can just see that they're muted.
Yeah, but it's just I want to write down their names for my alt account too.
Okay.
I have alt accounts too. My Smurf hit 7K before my main did. That's depressing. I've got a notepad for every matchup I lose to like make sure that I review it.
Okay, that makes sense. That's studious.
Yeah. I don't know. I try to improve my craft as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Yoku just got clarity'd. That had to be a misclick.
Did you have a ban list back in Warcraft 3?
Yeah, of course. Everybody did.
Yeah. I wish there was a ban list in Dota 2.
Nah, that would be kind of cheesy. Because then I could just like... Who are the players that I struggle with?
No. I mean more of the fact that I just like had a note. You know, because the ban list didn't actually automatically ban you, right? It
if you could just like
it
notes
pulled up.
for-
It was just like this person is in your game, and it would give you your note on him.
Yeah,
right?
I was looking at my win rates against everybody. Like, I think I'm like 6-0 against Arteezy or something. But I checked, and it's like I'm like 0-14 against S4.
Oh, really?
And that number isn't even made up.
Wow.
One time it was me, Bambo, and EGM against that guy, and we lost. So I would just ban list that guy immediately. Yeah, he's toxic.
Meanwhile, he's like actually the least toxic player I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, of course, but if we're just trying to gain MMR here.
The battle begins.
Alright. So it is going to be a mid Legion. I don't even know how that does against Storm. I'm sure it loses, but if you have the help of a Skywrath or something, it's probably okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, this guy's not even helping him. He's not even going to Lampercat him. I wonder if it was the Earthshaker that accidentally used the clarity on the Bloodseeker. That had to have been it.
What is he not bringing? What is he? What's his build? What is he going for? He's going for a fast bracer or something?
On who?
On Legion Commander. What's his build?
Does he have items coming in?
He's got items coming in. It's just Circlet, Magic Stick,
No,
and
that's a
Healing
wand.
Salve.
What are you talking about? Are you insane? That's a fully completed one. He has 2 iron.
Yeah, I know. But before, when the courier was sitting there waiting, and he already had his stick there as well as his circlet, I was like, "What is he waiting for?" And he was waiting for his extra bit of regen. But
Bracer. Okay, Cap.
wow, right.
6K caster, guys.
whatever.
Honestly,
I'm sorry, I haven't seen enough Legion Commander mid.
I mean, it's just
I don't know. Maybe drums is still a thing. I'm sorry, Blitz. How many times have you played the Storm Spirit versus Legion Commander matchup?
At least like 3 or 4 times.
Professional mid Storm Spirit player.
At least,
over here.
at least, but I mean, it just makes sense. It's like you play any matchup against Storm, you're gonna go for a stick pretty early. Oh, FN, you're fine.
Yeah, he'll just take a lot of damage.
Don't even use your remnant.
If Hero got really lucky on Moment of Courage. What's happening here? Top lane? Oh, that was not the Fisher. He needed to be able to land the stun after the disruption pretty quickly because there was going to be a blink out, but messed up the timing quite a bit.
These are some weird lanes right now. They're aggro trying with an Earthshaker and a Lina core. I don't approve. I guess it's okay actually because the Legion needs help mid because it's a Legion mid. Like I really don't think the Legion was the pick. Because if they had a self-sufficient mid hero, then they wouldn't have to do this.
Yeah.
And then they could actually just mess up this tri lane at top.
Could they?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty tough tri lane.
It is, but it's not a tri lane that you can really die to if you play pitch perfect. Meanwhile, in mid, there's just no way.
Skywrath Mage. Gonna be chased down by Go Black.
Oh, bottom though.
Get some free damage in.
Yoku.
Is he dead? No. He's
Nope.
gonna stay once. Jeez, that battery assault range.
It's more the fact that he's got 499 boost speed because that anti-mage was low.
If only.
499. What an absurd hero.
It really is.
He was
You know how happy I am whenever I'm playing like support or off lane and I have a Bloodseeker on my team? Because I always just play super aggressive. Because it's so rewarding.
Yeah.
It's so rewarding, right? I'm just like, it doesn't even matter. I don't get the kill. Whatever. I brought him low. Bloodseeker. XD.
I mean, Yoku right now, he's invincible. Like, look at that. His move speed
Three-hand
just...
gank. Shake it off.
Yeah, his move speed just keeps going up to like 450 randomly. Yeah. That car is just randomly revving up and down.
Now he's actually... Oh my god. He's got this kill. First blood. Bloodseeker. Great stuff. And Go Black. Exotic Deer is actually out of mana now. So the next time they get a disruption on him, Anti-Mage is dead. They lost bottom lane. They're losing middle lane. Oh, Sasu, is this the kill? Slow down Yoku. He gets bounced back by the cogs. It's not enough damage by itself. But maybe, just maybe, Winter Wyvern comes in for the side and we'll be able to get it. There we go.
Easy. I mean, that was like the 8th gank attempt on Yoku. That's a confidence thing, if anything. You just gotta... If anything, he should have just died for them. That's called... I don't even know how to analyze that. That's called like the if at first you don't succeed. Try like the 5th time and hopefully...
Try again.
Yeah, just keep going for it. It'll pay off eventually.
He can't always be that fast.
Exactly.
Unless you have an axe jungling at low HP.
There was a life stealer, actually.
He was playing Jungle Lights together?
Yeah.
No. Well, that makes it even worse somehow.
Alright, this Lina is actually kind of doing okay. Like, this AM is... rough game. There's nowhere for him to go either. Because Bloodseeker naturally counters him. Bloodseeker don't need mana to go 800 move speed.
Yeah, Bloodseeker's about to hit level 6 too, so he's gonna counter him even further soon.
Alright, they're
abandoning top lane.
Yeah, now they're aggro tri-laning with...
I feel like they should have known that the aggro tri-lane was coming. I thought they did know with the way they're drafting.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yoku might die though.
Oh no, the cogs push back! Might be able to get Yoku still. The blink is there, but Exotic Deer holds on to it. Knows that's not what he should be diving for.
He's only level 3 and he's got no levels of mana break. There's like 0% chance that he kills him there. And Yoku just goes to the jungle, farms, heals up at the same time. He's got Rupture up too if he wants it. Okay, here we go. Not gonna Rupture him though.
He's
he's
5
on
experience.
6.
Yeah.
Wow, he's 5 experience off. I thought he definitely got it.
Oh, those damn supports.
If Goblik hadn't been there. Oh, he's 6 now though. Oh, you messed up.
Exotic Deer has to blink into the trees and TP out. Meanwhile, Lisash, well, he will be the one who dies here, it looks like.
Man, his team is just...
Get him, Yoku!
Sasu's going for the backstab. Look at...
Oh, no!
What's going on? No! He guessed... They just kind of passed through opposite tree. He played that so well, too.
Oh my god, that was so smart.
He is so confused
now
right now.
It's like, where did he go?
Oh,
Why would No Fear even run this direction?
Because he's a genius, clearly. He knew that if he went down the normal way...
Uh-huh.
What a guy.
Okay, well. Can we go back to the fact that Bloodseeker 3-shot the Skywrath Mage at like 3 minutes into the game?
Are you surprised about that? Skywrath has how much armor? Like
0.
0, yeah.
Yeah, he starts out with 0 armor.
That's One of like the most glass cannon.
I don't think he
Dota.
even gets an armor point until like level 5 or something like that.
That's why you build Wraith Bands.
Oh, exotic deer are just barely escaping.
This game is just going to be so harsh for him overall. Like, Sidoi's going to get a Yules. You're so under leveled at this point that even he's going for stats over the mana break because he realizes it's not going to do much for him. But you also need levels of the spell shield too to be able to survive the Lina combo.
Yeah.
This was just not a good set overall. Look how much the Storm has when it comes to farm in comparison to, for example, the Legion. It's not even very close.
66 and 4.
Yeah, and then compare him to the anti-mage just to get real perspective of Dota.
15 and 0. Sasu, oh no, why you gotta take that from him? Not cool, dude.
Wait, what? Oh, he thinks he has cogs, so he doesn't want to overcommit.
That invis was his escape. Top lane. They're gonna go for Sidoi here, but an Ice Fissure actually separates a bit. Sidoi will have the dis. Oh, never mind, they get the slow. And they should have the damage now to be able to get the kill.
Easy kill.
No fear, just gets a bit too close to his compatriot and gets him killed.
That's an awkward position to be in, because you want to be there to help him out, but at the same time...
Splinter Blast. Dangerous ability. I know you're not much of a support player, but what do you think the difference between Winter Wyverns who go max out Arctic Burn first or Splinter Blast?
I think Arctic Burn is really good for the harass, and just so you can play the positioning game, whereas Splinter Blast is better when you're eventually going to take a lane, or when you want to play pseudo-aggressively against multiple heroes.
Yeah.
Like, if you know you're going to get aggro tri-lane. I mean, I'm not a support, but I can logic this out pretty easily. That's what I meant to do. That's my job.
Oh, wow.
Free
Sidoi.
tower.
Okay.
He just walked up there.
ATN didn't even deny it.
That's actually pretty massive. That's such a huge gold boost for him.
Yeah.
For free. Like, there's
Especially
no
when
reason to do that.
he just died.
Does the Earthshaker have mana? Yeah, he's got it. They're gonna set up for this. Gotta be careful. I actually think Sidoi shouldn't have used the nuke there. Like, wait for your Earthshaker to just fissure from fog, and then they can get a kill. Look how many heroes they have to devote to this. But meanwhile, during this time, you're giving up pretty much mid lane and the jungle to FN, and the Bloodseeker's just getting pretty huge now too. They're falling pretty far behind right now. This is a Midas completed on the Bloodseeker now too. Like, the score is 3-2, but the difference in net worth is like 5k at 10 minutes in. That's fairly significant.
Yeah, that's massive. Well, maybe ATN can still turn things around once they start getting into the fights like they did in game number 1. Of course, this is going to be a bit more of a significant margin of difference.
Yeah, that was so different though, because they had a Slaughdart who was able to get a really quick Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
And in this game, they've got an Anti-Mage who they've got to just defend. Like, the big thing here is just the Legion needs his Blink Dagger before they can do anything. And this is why I wasn't a big fan of the Legion plus the Anti-Mage plus the clock.
Oh dear. You shut up in lane against a Bloodseeker without a TP. You are dead.
Hey, Yoku was just like, what's going on?
Does he have allies? Nope. Definitely not, because those allies are about to die to a Storm Spirit.
So he said Storm. Nobody's level 6, I presume. Yep. Winter Wyvern's only 5. The Anti-Mage isn't going to die, but look. Like, this is just... FN should not be able to just push up like this by himself. But he's got so little fear. He doesn't have to worry anymore. Like, his entire team has so much farm right now. Yoku just took a solo tower, got a free kill, and he just completed his Midas, I want to say, like, a minute and a half ago, if that. And he's already got, like, 2k gold already.
That's pretty absurd. 88 CS, so he's 8xing his lane.
That was considering he was getting pressured pretty heavily.
Yeah.
It's just kept battery assault running at him.
Go black. It's gonna be caught here. This should be a free kill. Never mind. Exotic Deer still only has that level 1 mana break, so he just does no damage. Meanwhile, they get a dual win. They catch out the Earthshaker. Hero Supreme gets an extra 10 damage.
Most importantly, he has his blink now.
Oh, yeah.
So they can actually set up for kills. This is the big thing. It doesn't even matter who you kill at that point. It's just to get the dual damage the last hit, and it'll complete your blink dagger for you. All of these things are so good right now for ATN.
An invis rune for the clockwork. This actually poses some interesting opportunities. Because now we can actually hookshot in fearlessly, pop battery salt, and then pop the invis rune. And just let the battery salt do its work.
Oh man.
Yasha ready for the Bloodseeker, who has level 2 rupture.
How is the AM meant to catch up? This 41 CS in 12 minutes. He's just farming the jungle right now. But this is so slow and inefficient. What he really needs is maybe like a counter kill on the Storm or something like that to get him back into this game. But like a standard pace game like this, he's just going to get so far behind.
In Storm Spirit, I presume is going to be going for Bloodstone this game, so that really decreases his chances of getting a kill on him with that pocket suicide available.
He almost has it already. They just keep the pace of this game going right now. Farm out both your major cores. You know that the anti-mage isn't nearly enough to catch up to you. Like, he's got 3,200 net worth. Bloodseeker's already got 7,200.
Oh, this is their time. This is their time right here. They're waiting for the anyone really to show up. They're gonna jump on a Yoku, see if they can get the damage out in time. They should pretty easily be able to get it. And another win. So bump the Legion Commander up to a level 11 and has plus 20 damage now. So it's a start.
They're getting outwarded like crazy, which is a weird part considering how much map control they should have. Taking that tier 1 tower top early and that tier 1 bottom.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't lost any of their towers, so they probably don't feel too worried. But they know about the Blink Dagger on the Legion, and that's what I told you they were waiting for, right? So you should be playing around that fact now, but they're not really. And it's gotten them picked off twice now as a result. The first pick off I can understand, but Yoku should know, like, when everybody's missing on the map and there's an anti-mage in the game, and he already has to farm the jungle, that kind of just means that they're going to be playing aggressively on you. So A, you need somebody to sit behind you, or B, you need to be ready to TP faster.
Right. Regen rune for FN. I'll make very liberal use of that one. Blade Mail soon for the clockwork. That'll be another good pickup for ATN. We're just waiting for someone to be out of position here in this middle lane.
I think Hero actually just jumps.
What, just go for the Storm Spirit, see what happens?
Actually, you'd probably die 100%.
Yeah,
No.
Storm Spirit's super tanky right now.
Because he can get disrupted too. You don't jump on the Storm. You can help it. The Winter Wyvern really needs level 6 if they're going to do that.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to go take bottom kill.
Do you know what I'm sure duel. I think duel overrides everything, right?
Yeah, because if you Ghost Scepter and duel somebody, you can still deal damage. Oh, they're going to run into Yoku here.
Well, that'd be good if they hit the hookshot. No! Yoku dodges it.
Oh, they got to get out. Just get out. Run the same way you came.
New team will not be able to catch anybody unless FN will spend a lot of mana in order to catch up to somebody. That's going to be the Skywrath Mage. Cold Embrace, Silence. We'll make sure there's at least one kill here. They also have the Rupture on the Winter Wyvern. He's not going anywhere, so Light Strike Array will land, and the right clicks will deal the damage necessary.
The Shadow Demon should have disrupted overusing his ulti. They could probably get the kill then on him. But they're going to lose this tier 1 tower mid without any other supports handy. You can maybe spam out once or twice more, but you don't know where everybody is. Like, the Storm could be wrapping around. They don't have ward vision of him.
I would say they bought space for the Animage, but he's only just now picked up his Perseverance. So, Blade Mail's on the way for the clockwork though. Sasu, still impressive. The amount of farm he's been able to pick up despite this game really not going well for ATN.
Bloodstone completed on Storm at 16 minutes. S and Y and change on the Bloodseeker. Like, they're not even, it doesn't even look like they're far behind when you're just looking at the base score. Like, 7-4 is kind of salvageable.
Sure.
But if you look at the actual net worth, it tells a completely different story. This is approaching 10k territory in a really slow-paced game that benefits the new team. The Stormseer pick just didn't get pressured. The anti-mage, they did a really smart decision to slow that down by just going into his lane and messing with him. And then, on top of that, like, the anti-mage, if he has, like, 3 items, can enter the fight a lot earlier because there's a Storm in the game. But because of how underfarmed he is, he just gotta, like, dedicated jungle until he has a minimum of a Battle Fury. Like, it doesn't make sense for him to enter these fights at all, which is kind of sad because the early game is really where the anti-mage succeeds against the Storm. When it comes to like the absolute late game, Storm can just grab items like Lincoln's Hex.
Smoked, and they will. They gotta find exotic tier. No, they're gonna make the jump middle. Winter Wyvern's gonna be caught. FN. He just really wanted a Bloodstone charge, and he'll have it.
They were so close. They just had to look down.
Yeah.
That's the kill you want, the anti-mage, because he is already so far behind. To kill him at this phase, that would set him back like another 3 minutes at least.
Yeah.
Maybe even longer than that, actually. It took him so long to get to this phase. But they're gonna lose a tier 2 for a tier 1. That's fine, because you are getting the Battle Fury a little bit sooner on the AM.
As TP back. Sasu, whoa! He tried to go for the quick hit shot. That's going to miss. Sasu just turns on his blade mail. Probably will be dying here. Elisash is going to be saved by the Cold Embrace. They managed to get a duel onto FN, and they're dueling it out, but they're not getting enough damage to be able to finish him off. Sasu just waiting things out, and now he's going to go down to FN. Winter's Curse finally goes in onto Yoku, but it's a bit too late. Hero Supreme will be cleaned up. So too will our Winter Wyvern. Eventually. Laguna Blade, there it is.
They should have definitely just Winter's Curse and all in on FN.
Yeah.
Maybe he suicides there, but you get something out of it. Instead, you lose a tier 2, and you're going to trade everything. Yeah. I think the play there instead was just to go for that tier 1 at bottom, kill it, and then TP for the high ground. There's no way that you're going to defend that tier 2 at that point. Everybody from New Team is stud up. They've just got such a big item lead on you. Like, you might have the superior team fight, but you would have to have a really good Winter's Curse to be able to do that, and they just didn't. And that's going to be one of the faster Raxes I've seen so far in competitive Dota. Lately anyways, and that's like a 13-14k net worth lead, and your anti-mage still isn't online. You're effectively playing 4v5 for the next 10 minutes.
And now the items start rolling in for New Team. Blink Dagger for No Fear. We've got Orchid being built by FN. Our Bloodseeker can probably just straight up go for a BKB and be unstoppable. Looks like a BKB for Cedo as well.
Okay.
I kind of like the idea of, like, when you're this far ahead, just mass BKBs.
No, he's going X for sure.
Okay, he's going for the X.
There's no reason for him when there's an anti-mage in the game.
Just the value Ogre Club. Duel goes up, and they will blow up Cedo.
Okay, I don't really know what the play is. Like, they get the kill on Cedoy, but he's the least important core by far.
Yeah.
It's not even very close.
Dual damage, though.
I mean, that works in your favor, but FN just gets a kill of his own. He's up to 13 Bloodstone charges. They can go for this tier 2 and then even Roshan when their Lena's back alive.
Radiance
You're probably still okay, as weird as that sounds, as long as... I don't know. This anti-mage has to get, like, a really, really big attempt. He has to accomplish a lot. Like, FN has to waste all of his mana, anti-mage has to, like... You remember that one that, what's his name, had Era? At bottom tier 2? When he was playing against that team and he had, like, a 5-man rampage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of mana void you need right now to come back into the game.
Yeah, otherwise... This Battle Fury timing alone is not going to be good enough. FN. Quick to start dangerous. That farming.
They're pinging FN like crazy.
Hook shot, Cogs back, duel. Oh, they got him.
All right, here we go.
FN is dead. And
794 gold.
Yeah. Clockwork. Unfortunately, it goes on the person who really doesn't need it.
Yeah.
I mean, he already has the Blade Bell.
Kill's a kill, and the Storm's insta up, but... Yeah.
268 gold for the AM and the Legion Commander, though, just for being there.
Incoming!
That's what I'm talking about. That's how you get back into the game.
Long zip in, Hero blinks backwards. And they didn't actually see where he went to, so he'll be fine.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, 15k net worth lead at 22 minutes is a little bit hard. It's pretty difficult. Especially with this Roshan. If this goes on FN, I think the game actually just You get double racks now. They've got a duel up. I think the Legion actually just YOLOs in. They can fight this for sure, actually.
Oh, they're going to be able to get the duel, but not onto FN. They will kill No Fear instead. Hero pops his blade mail, but FN keeps on going. Now he's silenced up, and now he's going to pull no disruption. He saves him. FN. Oh, he's still silent in the hook shot, able to finish him off. Elisa, she's going to be going down here. Sasu still battling it out with Go Black. Will be able to get this one kill before he's left for Yoku to clean up. Animage, meanwhile, is trying to go all in. Oh, okay. God.
He definitely should have entered the fight.
Yeah, this is not earlier. The play.
The Bloodseeker used this Rupture. They used everything. Like, Disrupt. The Orchid was used by the Storm. Like, if AM gets in there and just ulties the Storm Strut, I think they actually just win the game. But he played that fight almost too passively. Like, he was so afraid of everything, but that's a fight that your team is pretty much all in at. It doesn't really matter if you survive. You have to just commit with your team. Like, they had a really nice pick-off. They killed the Earthshaker. They killed the Storm, essentially. And now, like, the game is kind of over. Like, Exotic Deer played so well in game 1, but I thought he was just a little bit too gun-shy there.
Another Blink Dagger, this time for the Shadow Demon.
They're just going to group up as 5 now. They know.
Yeah, and there's the pure damage. Seedoy has the Aghanim's Laguna Blade that'll cut right through that Animage.
FN's just going to look for whoever. He's got Orchid. He's lost a lot of his Bloodstone charges from simultaneous deaths, but he's got Aegis.
Dire's bottom.
It just feels like a little bit of lack of trust.
Oh, he's got him. Winter Wyvern is going to be Orchided up and dead.
That's
now
a
the
big
jump in.
pick.
Rupture on Asasu. Yoku's just going to battle out with the Clockwork. Free kill there. The duel goes on to FN. They will be able to blow one up, but that is still just the Aegis. Now Purge on the Hero. Not really sure if they really want to go for this one. Echo Slam. No Fear kind of walks that one still. Oh, and he dies as Seedoy gets the ultimate out from the Animage. And it actually does the AoE to finish off both Seedoy as well as the Earthshaker. Exotic Deer quick to buy back after that kill. Searching for a pickoff on Yoku or FN, but they will both escape to safety.
You still lose. They get 3 heroes, but they also lose a few. They also have to be forced to buy back with a lot. Yeah. The Clockwork and the Anti-Mage instantly bought back there. So they won't have buybacks to the next engagement, and more importantly, they're just kind of flat out of money. And this Bloodseeker almost has a fully completed Butterfly. FN's got 1800 gold. You've got a lot of gold on everybody. You don't even have to really look for efficient fights anymore just because you've taken so much. Like, they can go for this tier 2 tower top if they absolutely want to secure things, but the pace of the game is theirs. The Anti-Mage is nowhere near a Manta style. So I don't even know how he's going to attempt to fight for the next 10 minutes.
Zip time.
Yeah, he's oh, good dodge.
Does manage to get out.
Oh, they should go on him like right now. Before his team gets there.
5 seconds until they've got the ultimate from Animage and Hero will be spotted.
That was a minor opening. I guess they were a little bit too far, and this might actually mean Hero goes down. He's got to be careful. But nobody's quite near him. Yoku's just waiting for the Butterfly. That's what I'm talking about. Don't push if you've got an item timing coming in. Yeah, wards up, chill. No BKB or Manta style anywhere near for either of those heroes. I mean, what do you really look for if you're a new team here?
And just wait for the second Aegis.
That's probably not a terrible idea. And the Bloodseeker's got a Butterfly now. You don't have to necessarily like rush anything. What's the net worth lead? 20k now? Nearly.
Yeah. 10,000 experience. And a regen for FN. Just to make things that much simpler for him. Looks like, would you go Lincolns? Just to kind of ensure you can't be locked down anymore.
Yeah, I would love a Lincolns this game. Oh, this is so huge.
Oh, whoa. We missed the Light Strike already, but still, they've got Hero on lock.
Yeah, he's gonna die. FN almost dies, but he's got a regen. If he dodges his Clockwork Rocket too, that's huge.
So he's gonna be full HP and full mana soon, 22 to 12, working on that second tier 3 tower. FN jumps in, leading the way, goes for the Skyreath mage. Easy pick off there. Sasu, next target, actually returns the blade melt damage on Acedoy. Gets a lot out there, but he will still fall. Winter's Curse on a Yoku. Exotic Deer actually jumps forward, finish off the Storm Spirit. Winter's Curse, though, not doing much, and now Exotic Deer is very dead as he gets Echo Slam, Chain Stun down, and they've got no buybacks. Winter Wyvern, the only one who could do it.
They go for Throne, FN, just complete trust in his team. He uses up all his mana, but he realizes like by the time the anti-mage actually ults him, he'll have killed 2 people.
Yeah. And
Yoku is still farmed right now. They're just dropping items and stuff. Was GG called, or is he just like leaving the game?
he just left.
That's weird.
FN's killing his items.
Yeah, he's just destroying. They know. That's not even really BN. It's like, game's over. Do whatever you want.
Yeah. So, series evens out. ATN provided an upset in game number 1, but in the end, New Team still managed to make it a 1-1 series. And that brings our first series to a close. Blitz?
I mean, that was the type of Dota I'd want to see from New Team. They're just systematic about being able to win the lanes, good picks overall. It made a lot more sense to me than this one.
Our next series is going to be Golden Boys versus Monkey Freedom Fighters. So you Sing Sing fanboys out there, get ready to go. That is Sing Sing's team, right?
Yeah.
So, and Golden Boys, if you guys don't know, that's the old London Conspiracy, the old Greek team. So, talented stuff there. Looking forward to it.